XRP family, we're talking about an XRP-led alt season and a market cap explosion for this asset driven by real-world assets getting tokenized on the ledger, and that tokenization leading to increased volume and demand for the neutral bridge currency for the XRP ledger, which is XRP. So without further ado, we're going to get right on into the update. Hope everybody's having a fantastic weekend. We just had one of our most valuable sessions ever yesterday in the Discord group with one of the most sought after public speakers in the world right now, Mark Kohler, when it comes to tax, legal, and estate planning. Literally at the top of his game right now, one of the best to do it. And so I'm super excited that we were able to have Mark stop by yesterday. He was only supposed to give us an hour. He ended up going 30 minutes over, and it was just value-packed session. If you want to get access, join us in the Discord family. Really looking forward to setting that up. And if you want to get on a call with Mark's team for tax, legal, or estate planning, that is also linked up down below. I also wanted to make everybody aware that we are live with the XRP black logo. The white logo should be available this week, but we got the black logo. We gave away over 50 of these this past week, not including the dog tags that we gave away as well too. We've been trying to spread the good word about XRP. I wish my good friend Roberta could make me some more coffee mugs here too, because these are awesome as well. Still sipping black coffee, having a great Saturday. Let's get straight on into the update. Cheers, everybody. It's something about it out of the XRP mug that just makes it hit right. Hey, if you're wondering what the criminals are using, just look at what the United States government's holding. About 24 billion in crypto. This comes after Scott Bessent says they're not going to be buying any more Bitcoin, but they're still acquiring it from the criminals. And so we're looking at a list here of Bitcoin, Tether, Ethereum, Wrapped Bitcoin, BNB, Wrapped Ethereum, Wrapped BNB, and Binance US dollar is the preferred cryptocurrencies of the criminals. Maybe Ripple's going to do a deal with them, help them out to get them some XRP, because apparently the criminals ain't using the XRP ledger. Very good. Altcoin season could kick off this September. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's already started, and XRP is going to continue to lead this bull run. Bitcoin dominance slid from 65% to 59% in May. Altcoin market cap has surged by about 50% since July, and institutional demand for Ethereum is accelerating. The rotation is on, and if you've been holding Ethereum, thankfully for you, you're going to have an opportunity to get some exit liquidity with these corporate treasury companies buying up Ethereum. Big inflows coming in from the ETFs. So if you got a bag of ETH, here's your exit liquidity. Nate Garassi, this has been the highest trading volume week ever for the spot crypto ETFs. The spot Ethereum ETFs absolutely obliterated previous weekly trading volume record. Wonder if there are any no demand naysayers still out there. Well, you got a little bit of demand, and despite that, Ethereum's still struggling to break its all-time high. But hey, take advantage of it if you need to. Eric Balchuna shows us that the spot Bitcoin and Ether ETFs did about 40 billion in volume last week. Biggest week ever for them, thanks to the Ethereum ETF stepping up big. Massive number, which is equivalent to a top 5 ETF or top 10 stock volume. Absolutely massive, but you got to look a little bit closer here. Dr. Martin Hespik, he's the head of research at Uphold, points out that the amount of Ethereum waiting to be unstaked is at an all-time high, and the growing demand to withdraw Ethereum could put sell pressure on the coin. Absolutely. Hitting those exits. Meanwhile, what are they selling over in the Bitcoin world? Well, here's Michael Saylor talking about absolutely no risk. And I was listening to a Bitcoin MicroStrategy space, and let me tell you, you think some of these Bitcoin maxis are crazy? When you talk to the guys that are Bitcoin maxis and invested in MicroStrategy, it's like Michael Saylor, but on a 10x dose of some strong, they seeing some strong visions over there in the Bitcoin MicroStrategy crowd. I was literally listening to a space earlier with all the who's who from the Bitcoin crowd, and they're listening to some guy talk about how he was a time traveler and that time travelers are protecting Bitcoin. You thought that the XRP army was a cult, which we are. I own it. I lean into it. I'm going to admit that. I thought that we are crazy, and we are crazy. I thought we were pretty crazy. But these guys take it to a whole nother level. We still have time travelers too, though. Our time travelers are real. Michael Saylor, run the clip. Listen up.
Right? I mean, that's the engineering. I give you the upside, you have no downside, and I pay you a dividend while you wait to get rich. Okay? Which is, right? I mean, that's the engineering. I give you the upside, you have no downside, and I pay you a dividend while you wait to get rich. Okay?
Sounds pretty dang good, doesn't it? You know where to find it. Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy. Absolutely think it's going to send. That's okay. Let them do their deal. Let them sell it however they want. You know, they're bringing more people to crypto, and eventually I think they'll see the light. So the reason why I titled today's episode XRP Marketcap Explosion, though, was one, many people in the XRP army think that we need to just completely disregard market cap, and we have shifted our understanding of what market cap is and how it should be applied to crypto, the difference between market cap, the market cap multiplier. And I've shown you guys, based on the inflows that we've seen into XRP, the market cap multiplier on XRP is anywhere from 100 to 500x on a regular basis. And so this shows us that we have to think differently about what's potential for these digital assets going to what might seem like astronomical market caps that don't make any sense. And the market cap bros are probably never going to be able to wrap their mind around it, even though we just show them simple data in math, 2 + 2 still equals 4, or in this case, $1 of inflows into XRP equates to $100 or $500 of market cap growth. It's just a simple equation and simple math and hard data, but many of these guys still can't wrap their mind around it. So let's look at another metric, which is looking at the tokenization of real world assets on the chain. How does that equate to market cap growth for the asset? And don't take it from me. Take it from the co-CEO of Sharp Link Gaming, who I think is another Ethereum treasury company. These guys are popping up left and right. But he also happens to be the former head of digital asset strategy at BlackRock as well. And what he says right here is very interesting. The more assets and transactions that are secured on the Ethereum network have proven to increase the value of ETH. If you look at the last 5 years, for each $2 secured on the network on Ethereum and the L2s, it's driven about $1 of market cap value for Ethereum. And if you take a step back and say that stablecoins are at the size today, but Scott Bessent says it's going to grow to $1 trillion over the next 3 years, and really they're talking about 2 to 3 trillion just on the stablecoins. But if you look at the adoption of RWAs, which is in the first inning and can literally go J-curve, the value of tokenized assets, which could be measured in the trillions or tens of trillions, they are going to be secured by a decentralized network. We believe the vast majority of that is going to be Ethereum, and that this is the bull case for ETH. That's great. Yeah, sure. Ethereum's going to get a little piece of it. Absolutely. I'm not going to deny that. But what's happening right now is it's coming to the XRP ledger as well. And this is why XRP's been leading this bull run so far since the election. XRP's outperforming the rest of the top 10 cryptocurrencies combined pretty much. And it's just one of the top performers in the top 100 right now since the election. And the reason why I think it's going to continue to be an XRP-led alt season, and while you'll see an XRP market cap explosion, is because with the DeFi that's not just retail only, but going to be institutional DeFi on the XRP ledger, you're going to see an explosion in XRP's market cap driven by more people needing XRP to use for gas, using it as a reserve, and they're going to choose to tokenize RWAs on the XRP ledger. Now, don't take it from me that this is coming. It's coming around the corner. I know that we're tired of hearing that in the XRP family. Trust me, I know. The good news is it's happening now. So you don't got to just listen to me. Look at what's taking place. Now, I wanted to show you guys that Dom did correct. We saw a flip of the switch moment yesterday on the XRP ledger where our tokenized RWAs went to 1.13 billion. This was actually caused by a miscalculation. And so I wanted to correct this for everybody. Dom points out that this was about 900 million tokenized in the Brazilian real. So the actual figure in dollar terms is only about 200 million. Okay. So this was CERT Capital, I think, or Vert Capital, one of the CERT or Vert Capital based out of Brazil. And they're tokenizing the Brazilian real on the XRP ledger. And they flipped the switch and they tokenized about $200 million of Brazilian real on the XRP ledger. So based off this, comparing it to Ethereum, right? He was saying for every $2 tokenized, you saw $1 of market cap growth for Ethereum. So in this example, 200 million getting tokenized on the XRP ledger should equate to about 100 million in market cap growth. And in fact, from the bounce off of $3 that we just saw recently, you know, the PPI came out way above expectations, so the whole market freaked out. Typical August overreaction, nothing to worry about. But XRP's already bounced back by billions in market cap. And at the same time, this just so happened to take place as well too. But this is just showing us one example, and it's just another way that we can confirm that XRP still has tremendous upside. One, based off of the inflows that are going to come from ETFs, corporate treasuries, just retail investors wanting to get exposure. All of that's going to lead to inflows into XRP. But we also are going to see inflows into XRP because of the RWAs that get tokenized. And then as the volume and the trading for those RWAs on the ledger picks up, that's also going to be burning XRP. Remember, XRP is deflationary. XRP gets burned in every transaction. No, RLUSD is not going to make XRP irrelevant. Please tune out of anybody that's telling you that nonsense. They're lying to you, and or they're just don't know what the heck they're talking about. So let's tune that out. That's nonsense. Every RLUSD transaction on the XRP ledger uses XRP and burns XRP. Parties on both sides need an XRP wallet, so it's locking up XRP. For every trust line added, you need XRP. Yes, it's a small amount. You bring that to scaling to serving billions of people worldwide, and you see where that goes. And once again, we're looking at the overall cryptocurrency space and the tokenization of real world assets coming on chain. And the conservative numbers are about 15 to 30 trillion by 2030 gets tokenized. 15 to 30 trillion. So, as that's been in relation to Ethereum, that 30 trillion of tokenization should equate to about 15 trillion of market cap growth for the overall cryptocurrency space. It's just a matter of us picking what are going to be the best winners. I've made my case for XRP. Some of these guys want to make their case for Ethereum. Let's let Michael Saylor make his case for Bitcoin, and may the best ledger win. And our ROI since the election is fivefold of every other one of these top 10 cryptocurrencies. It's just not even close, and it'll continue not to be close for the rest of this bull run. So that's why I titled this episode XRP Marketcap Explosion. Yes, originally this was reported as $1 billion of RWA value. That was a miscalculation. It was only an additional 200 million added, but the point being, we're still early. We're still talking about hundreds of millions getting tokenized on the ledger. Trillions are on the way. And that's going to equate to trillions in market cap growth. So for the market cap bros that are still struggling, how could XRP ever get to $1 trillion market cap? Sit down. Okay, let's get out your pen and paper. Let's take it back to the drawing board and just type into your search bar XRP market cap myth exposed. My video will pull up with my whiteboard session. You'll get the equation. You can play with the math yourself. I keep it simple. I give you the data straightforward, and we can all learn on how XRP is easily going to go to $1 trillion market cap with ease. And in the meantime, the scammers are coming out of the woodworks. I just saw that Vet posted that we had another community member had all of his XRP drained. And it came because he hit a fake link from what he thought was Ledger. I don't know if he thought that this was Ledger support or how this happened, but a fake link from what he thought was Ledger, and his entire XRP wallet was drained. Now, hours later, we have testnet to play with firewall and two-factor authentication protocol features that can prevent people on the XRP ledger to lose their funds, even if they leak their keys. Absolutely amazing. And this is being done by Dennis, who is an absolute beast. He's a software engineer at the XRP Ledger Labs. He's also working on Zahao. He's also got Chris Dangerfield is helping him work on this project as well too. This is a really cool feature and a really cool security measure, but I just wanted to plug in real quick. If you don't want to have to deal with this kind of worry at all, you could just take advantage of free institutional grade custody being offered by Caleb and Brown. And I wish that this solution was around years ago when people have been struggling with wallets and cold storage and seed phrases and passwords and two-factor authentication, instead of the solution that we now have with Caleb and Brown, where you could do it all from a phone. You can enable two-factor authentication, and you can get free institutional grade custody. Nobody else in the business is offering this level of service and free institutional grade custody. So people, oh, Keelan Brown has high fees. You don't even have to trade over there, right? If you just wanted to take advantage of their free institutional grade custody, you could, right? Absolutely. And that's where I got XRP parked. I'm getting ready to sell that. And their service has been top notch. And every time I look to cash out to my bank account, it's in the bank account by the next day. No problems, no fees either, no limits either. Yeah, good spot to be in. Analyst Virtual Banking, and he's been a big Ethereum guy. He's really not a big XRP guy, but even he is seeing that it's, the setup for the potential run to a $4.47 XRP is there. And so you're seeing some of these trader bros come around that don't care for XRP at all, but at the end of the day, they're here to make $1, and they can't deny that XRP is not about to make that run. And so this is another signal that even the XRP haters and doubters are having to come in and make a little position on XRP. It really, it hurts their ego a little bit to admit that XRP is outperforming. So they won't admit that XRP is outperforming the rest of their bag. They won't admit that, but they will pick up a little bag, and then just to save their reputation, they will have to admit that XRP is going above $4 in short order. And I've laid out my timeline and my targets. You guys know what I think about XRP. We got a rally to $7 taking place by September 7th. And then I think that we have double digits coming in, if not this year, by next year, most definitely. And a $20 to $30 XRP within 1 year after the XRP ETFs go live. It's just a simple prediction based off of the inflows that we're going to see into this asset. And as I've titled this episode and broken down for you here in today's video, it's also a combination of the real world assets that are going to be tokenized on this ledger as well. So I hope that everybody has a fantastic weekend. Once again, the XRP black logo hats are now live on the website. We'll have new merch on the website next week as well too. And if you're looking to get tapped in with our Discord community, you want to watch the call Crypto Estate Planning with Mark Kohler, that's all available. Sign up through Patreon to get access to Discord. You also get access to the Discord weekly call that we had this morning as well. Okay? ZachRector.com. On the way out, if you could like this video, we would greatly appreciate that. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. God bless you all. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.